This week, when you're reading about poems, think about how those poets wrote their poems. Are they making them rhyme to make it a rhyming poem? Are they using repetition and using the same words over and over and repeating them? Or are they using a free verse poem? So, free verse does not have to rhyme, it can have similes, and it's going to express the poet's thoughts and feelings. A lot of the times, poets, those are the authors who write the poems, use sensory words and they help the reader think about how something looks, sounds, smells, tastes, or feels. So, a poet really uses the five senses, using sensory words to describe the topic of the poem. Let's see what senses we can find in this poem. When you take a walk in the fall, leaves are like a blanket on the ground. They crunch under your feet with each step you take. When you take a walk in the fall, the temperature begins to drop. The air feels as cool as raindrops on your cheek. It smells like clean cotton towels. What sense does each word appeal to? Meaning, if I look over here, this word crunch, does that make me think of what something tastes like, sounds like, feels like, looks like, or smells like? Well, in this sentence, it's talking about the leaves on the ground and they crunch under your feet. So that makes me think of what the leaves sound like. And immediately in my head, I can hear that noise because I've heard it before. When you take a walk in the fall, the temperature begins to drop. The air feels as cool as raindrops on your cheek. So when the temperature begins to drop, that's a feeling. I know what that feels like. The air is cool. So that's a sensory word on how something makes me feel on my skin, the temperature. The raindrops on your cheeks smell like clean cotton towels. So those raindrops smell like cotton towels, fresh and clean. So crunch, cool, and the raindrops smell like clean cotton towels are all sensory words that I can feel or hear or taste, or I know what they look like. In this free verse poem, the poet also used some similes, and that's why we know that this is a free verse poem. Similes are those phrases that compare two different things using the words like or as. So are leaves and a blanket the same thing? No, but just like a blanket covers you in your bed, leaves can cover the ground. Or the air feels as cool as raindrops on your cheek. We know that the air can feel cool in the fall, and so can raindrops on your cheek. The raindrops smell like clean cotton towels. Are raindrops and cotton towels the same thing? No, but they can both smell clean. Let's look at this student example and notice there are some red marks and there are some editing marks. So those editing marks are either for spelling or to add something or take something out to make your writing the best it can be. So here's another free verse poem. I want you to listen. Does this poem tell what the poet is thinking? Does it use similes? And it shouldn't rhyme. So make sure that it has those three things. I like to watch the sky change from day to night. The sun goes down or sinks behind the tall trees. The clouds are colorful. They turn pink and orange. Crickets make noise. Better sensory word is chirp. How do they sound? Crickets chirp loudly. My eyes feel heavy. I can't keep them open. Good night, night sky. Is this a free verse?